How are you? Let's get down to business. P. Diddy, is he a groomer? Are we talking about someone who likes to bait people into doing what he likes? Is this man on the down low or trying to come out? Know that these are allegations that have come out as of late pertaining to the entertainment mogul entrepreneur. Law and crime is the source of this information that I'm going to play. And once again, these are allegations against P. Diddy. But I have to ask, is it true that he's a groomer? He likes to bait people into situations. He likes to bring out something that he likes, whatever that is. And he waits to get a response because I believe that's what he's been doing over the years. He baits people. He likes to see how far they will go. So if I throw this at them, show them a video, talk nasty, bring extra parties into the room, drugs, women, same sex, opposite sex, group sex, different people, situations, let me see what they will say. Let me see how they will react. And that's how you know who you're dealing with. If you really want to know what people are about, always throw out a hypothetical, right? Hey, what would you do? Hey, what are you into? Just saying. We're going to see what this commentary is all about. You're entitled to your opinion if you believe that he's a groomer. These are just allegations, disgruntled people who have dealt with him as far as Cassie. But the one thing I've said before is that I have not heard of anyone paying out a lawsuit within a day. Not a corporation, not one-on-one interactions between two parties. I haven't heard of it. So this must be something new. And this leads me to believe that there's some truth to the allegations by her against him. What is the truth? Lil Rod, I'm curious about you. Why in the world would you stay in the company of a man who is making advances toward you, trying to touch you, grope you, touch you, showing you videos, telling you who he's been with as far as men? Why would you even want to be in a company with someone that does that, number one? If you're heterosexual, why would you allow it to go on? Don't know how long it went on. Don't know if these allegations are true or not. Let's just say they're true. Why would you put yourself in this type of situation as a heterosexual man unless you were getting something from it? So that means basically if you are heterosexual, you were selling your soul to the devil for what? Because now you're suing for money. So really you didn't get what you wanted if you did sell your soul to the devil. See, this makes no sense to me. Let's get into it, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to the Vault XL. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $ begin to 129 Cash App, stickers, and chats. Always welcome to the live stream. What's the truth? Allegations, disgruntled people. What are we talking about?
Down all of the recent allegations against Sean P. Diddy
We'll
as he faces now several lawsuits, including a bombshell one dropped by a former producer accusing him of sexual assault and sex trafficking. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber.
1 second, everybody.
So if you've been on social media recently, or you've been perusing for news sites, you may have seen a lot about P. Diddy and these sexual misconduct allegations. There is a lot there, so we thought let's break it down for you as to what is actually going on. These are going to be the biggest accusations currently against P. Diddy. So P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Diddy, real name Sean Combs, is of course a well-known music mogul, founder of Bad Boy Records, an influential producer, the founder of a clothing line, a singer and actor. Now you might recall that we previously reported on a huge lawsuit filed against Combs by his ex-girlfriend Cassandra Ventura back on November 16, 2023. At the time, Ventura alleged that Combs physically and sexually abused her, including forcing her into sexual slavery and sex trafficking. And some of the more alarming allegations in that federal lawsuit included Combs allegedly raping Ventura in her home after she tried to leave him, savagely beating her, resulting in bruises and burst lips, forcing her to have sex with prostitutes on video while he watched and masturbated, forced her to carry a gun for him, and tried to chase down music producer Suge Knight with a gun. Even she accused him of blowing up rapper Kid Cudi's car because he found out that Cudi was interested in Ventura. Yeah, it was wild. We covered it here. And she sued him under New York's Adult Survivors Act. That was a law that gave survivors of sexual assault a 1-year window to file lawsuits if their claims were otherwise time barred under the statute of limitations. Now, Ventura had told CBS at the time, quote, "After years in silence and darkness, I am finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationships." With the expiration of New York's Adult Survivors Act fast approaching, it became clear that this was an opportunity to speak up about the trauma I had experienced and that I would be recovering from for the rest of my life. Now,
Thank you.
just one day after
Thank
filing
you
this
all for
lawsuit in New York federal court, Combs and Ventura agreed to a settlement. Now, as with most settlements, it's confidential. We do not know the terms. Ventura released a statement saying, quote, "I have decided to resolve this matter amicably on terms that I have some level of control. I want to thank my family, fans, and lawyers for their unwavering support." Combs released his own statement saying, quote, "We have decided to resolve this matter amicably. I wish Cassie and her family all the best. Love." Now, Ben Braffman, who is attorney for Sean Combs, released a statement saying, quote, "Just so we're clear, a decision to settle a lawsuit, especially in 2023, is in no way an admission of wrongdoing. Mr. Combs' decision to settle the lawsuit does not in any way undermine his flat-out denial of the claims. He's happy they got to a mutual settlement and wishes Ms. Ventura the best." But you have to imagine, in a way, although this came out, these allegations came out, this was a win for Combs in a way, right? Sure, really bad publicity.
Was it?
Terrible allegations.
Was it a win?
When you settle, it doesn't stay in the news. You don't go to trial.
Was it a win?
These details aren't revealed at a trial or even in pre-trial discovery. This isn't like Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, where arguably one of the motivations for Johnny Depp to sue his ex-wife to take it to trial was to make sure all the evidence did come out, because he wanted to prove that he did not abuse her and he wanted to rehabilitate his image. This after Heard had alluded that she was a victim of domestic violence at his hands. This with Combs is very different. Definitely want to keep it quiet. But then what happens? Days after settling, Combs is hit with another lawsuit filed in New York. A woman named Joy Dickerson-Neal claimed that Combs drugged and sexually assaulted her when she was in college back in 1991. She alleged Combs filmed the rape, shared the video with others as a form of revenge porn. Dickerson-Neal claimed this severely affected her mental health and resulted in her leaving college. And like with Ventura, this lawsuit was filed pursuant to New York's Adult Survivors Act. Actually, this was filed in the Manhattan Supreme Court just one day before the window to sue closed. DIDDY denied the allegations in a statement from his spokesperson.
Take the poll.
It said, quote, "This last-minute lawsuit is an example of how a well-intentioned law can be turned on its head. Ms. Dickerson's 32-year-old story is made up and not credible. Mr. Combs never assaulted her, and she implicates companies that did not exist. This is purely a money grab and nothing more." As far as we see, that lawsuit is still pending. But there is something to think about. Could these allegations be true? Yes, absolutely. Could the allegations against Ventura be true? Yes, absolutely. However, one of the reasons that we see celebrities and high-profile people decide to fight these cases and not settle is because they are concerned about floodgates, right? If you settle with one person, you're going to have to settle with all of them.
Exactly.
Now, we haven't seen a settlement in this case, but remember, this lawsuit came out after the Ventura settlement. Doesn't take away from the legitimacy of the claims, but just something to think about. But then what happens next, right? A third lawsuit comes out in New York. This time, an unidentified woman claims that Combs and singer-songwriter Aaron Hall raped her 30 years ago.
Aaron Hall.
Combs' spokesperson released another statement after this one, saying these are fabricated claims.
Let me stop there. One article says Aaron Hall. This commentary by Law and Crime says Aaron Hall. But then other article I read said Aaron Jordan, the guy that was from Love and Hip Hop, Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. So what is the truth? Are we talking about different Aarons or what? I need a correction ASAP. Please take the polls. I've got a few people viewing, 20 watching. Come on, you guys, take the polls so I can continue on with the next post. Thank you so kindly.
Alleging misconduct from over 30 years ago and filed at the last minute. This is nothing but a money grab. Because of Mr. Combs' fame and success, he's an easy target for anonymous accusers who lie without conscience or consequence for financial benefit. It goes on to state, quote, New York legislature surely did not intend or expect the Adult Survivors Act to be exploited by scammers. The public should be skeptical and not rush to accept these bogus allegations. But then you fast forward to December 2023. Another lawsuit comes out. Another unidentified woman has accused Combs, former Bad Boy Entertainment president Harvey Pierre, and another person of sex trafficking and gang raping her when she was just 17 years old. She said that she was flown from Michigan to New York City, supplied with drugs and alcohol, and then assaulted at Combs' recording studio. The same day of this lawsuit, Combs issued a statement on Instagram saying, quote, "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, for the truth." By the way, a little side note about these lawsuits. They may be able to be legally brought, right? But they can still be difficult to prove. When you're talking about the age of these claims, witnesses' memories fade, evidence gets stale. It's not possible to prove the case, but it can be difficult. And I say that because remember, you can have a witness and a victim testify, or survivor testify, that can be sufficient in order to prove the claim. Maybe you have a few corroborating witnesses. That could be it. This isn't a criminal trial, by the way. The standard of proof in a civil case is much lower. Look at the E.G. Carroll case against Donald Trump. And from an optics point of view, this arguably has hurt Sean Combs. I mean, he stepped down from his position as chairman of Revolt TV, the media company he had founded. He's now on the defensive. But that is not the end of the story. No. It is just the beginning.
83% of
Because now, producer Rodney Little Rod Jones has filed a massive, reportedly $30 million federal lawsuit against Combs and others, alleging sexual assault, harassment, and an illicit criminal enterprise. This lawsuit by Jones is 75 pages. It lists out 15 separate causes of action. We're going to go through them. But this lawsuit is against Combs, his son Justin Combs, various associates, and entities like Chalice Recording Studios, Love Records, Motown Records, Combs Globe Enterprises, and Universal Music Group. So the complaint starts off by explaining that Jones produced 9 songs for Combs on his Love album and actually lived with Sean Combs for a period of time. And how, quote, throughout his time with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones witnessed, experienced.
Let's stop right there. Now he's implicating the son, Mr. Little Rod. Little Rod, do you believe these allegations by this man? Do you believe the allegations by women? This man said he lived with him for some time. Why would you be living with a person that's doing this to you, groping you? You say you're heterosexual, Mr. Rod. Then why are you allowing a man to touch you, grope you, number one? Why are you living in a grown man's house? I've asked this question before in my past live streams. This makes no sense to me. Are you perhaps vengeful, angry because you wanted more, needed money, whatever, and you actually have had a personal relationship, sexual relationship with him? Because I'm starting to think that perhaps maybe you had something sexual with him. Because you've thrown 2 other famous people under the bus in these allegations on paper, which was wrong because it's hearsay from Diddy, okay? And if I don't believe he's a gay man, we know a lot of gay men, they make up stuff. Anybody that's been around a lot of gay men, I'm just keeping it real, don't get offended. They like to make up stuff, they fabricate stuff. So we got to decide what's the truth. Doesn't really matter to me. I'm not sleeping with Diddy, don't really care, but it's out here. So is he gay, number one? Is he bisexual, number 2? Did you have a relationship with him sexual, Mr. Rod? Are you exacting revenge against him because things didn't work out? You wanted something from him, money? What do you want, a house, a car, what? What are we talking about? Because you got to explain logically, even if you're making this shit up, the groping and all that. Who is going to tell people that a grown-ass man stayed with another man? Make me understand. It's bullshit.
Endured many things that went far beyond his role as a producer of the Love album. Mr. Combs required Mr. Jones to record him constantly. On several occasions, Mr. Combs took Mr. Jones's cell phone and began recording himself. As a result, Mr. Jones has secured hundreds of hours of footage and audio recordings of Mr. Combs, his staff, and his guests engaging in serious illegal activity. Jones says that those videos showed drugs like ecstasy and cocaine, the displaying of unregistered firearms, Combs spiking drinks for minors and sex workers, Holmes' son Christian drugging and sexually assaulting a woman, and even a famous actor sexually harassing and assaulting Jones. Now, Jones alleged numerous events in these papers. For example, Jones, who identifies as a heterosexual Christian man, claims that Holmes repeatedly and intentionally groped his private
Who's going to believe
parts
this?
and said this happened in L.A., New York, Florida, the Virgin Islands, and that Holmes also continually forced Jones to be in his presence while he was naked in the shower. So with that, Jones is
right there. He's groping you at the house. He's groping you in public. He's groping you out of town, overseas. Do you hear what you're saying? You make yourself look stupid. This is ignorant. This is ignorant. Because there's no way I'm going to be a straight man and allow another man to touch my private parts. My front, my back, kiss on me, rub on me. Hell no. Hell no. And you're also making allegations against somebody else famous. Being too touchy close. I believe it's going to be a Mr. Cuba Gooding Jr. What the fuck is going on here? Now, these people can sue you because you're now throwing their names out. Same as with the women. The woman who makes the allegation when she was younger that he assaulted her and this Aaron Hall allegedly assaulted her and she was attacked by more than one party. Did that happen to that young lady? Could have. Just because she didn't come out then doesn't mean that it didn't happen, but people always question why you don't tell right when it happens. Then if you do tell right when it happens, the first thing people will assume, oh, she's a groupie. She liked it. She went along with them to the room, the chalet, the whatever, because she wanted to have sex. Well, even if a person wants to have sex with a person, if they indeed want to do something that the person doesn't want to do, some type of sexual act or performance, you do have the right to say no. Nobody has a right to force you into a sexual act you don't want to do. Okay? So just because you open Pandora's box and agree to have sex with somebody, if and when she says, well, I'd like to do this, could you do this to me? You say, well, no, I'm not into that. I don't want that. Nobody has the right to tell you, well, you're here in the room. You might as well go on and do it or force you to do it. That's wrong. This is why you have to be careful going into the belly of the beast, going along with people, because as a relative once said to me many years ago, this is so true, especially when you're talking about bringing people into your house, going to somebody else's house, even if you're agreeing to sex. Let's just say you two talk on the phone and the guy's like, hey, I want to come over, I want to spend some time with you. Can we hook up? Whatever. You say yes. When that door closes, he does not have to play fair. I had an aunt tell me that many years ago. And she's right. God rest her soul, she's no longer alive, but that's so true. You might agree, okay, you're going to give me a little something tonight. And then you shut that damn door, and it's a whole nother ball game once that door shuts. This person might decide to act violent, start hitting you, punching you, torturing you, pull out a weapon, cut you, anything. And then you're saying to yourself, okay, I already agreed that I was going to do something with you. Why you got to hurt me? Because you don't know people. Women are turned on a lot by sadists. And that's what you have to understand about being with people, being in their company. And we know that at some point you're going to have to be alone with a man. Whether you talk to him 5 weeks, 8 weeks, 3 months, 4 months, never have sex, whatever, at some point you're going to be alone with him. Now, as I just said, once the door is closed, that's it. Watching him bathe. What the fuck? This makes no sense to me. This man is groping you, touching you, you're uncomfortable. Did you ever tell Mr. P. Diddy that you're uncomfortable? Let's go there. Did you ever tell him you're uncomfortable? Why did you hang around him? Why were you living in his house? And why the fuck are you going in a bathroom with a grown man? Hello, can you come in here? I want to talk to you for a minute. Nah, I'll wait till you get done showering. We're not talking about a kid going in the bathroom talking to the mother or father while they're taking a shower. You're a grown-ass man. You have no reason to be going in the restroom with another man. I don't care if he's on the toilet. I don't care if he's standing up peeing. I don't care if he's taking a shower. I don't care if he's in the bathtub. I don't got to come in there and talk to you about nothing. Hey, homeboy, I'll wait till you're done. Talk, okay? Matter of fact, you come out the shower with your towel on and you're in your bedroom, woo, woo, woo. I still will wait to talk to you. You know, women, it's more acceptable for women to, you know, walk around in their undies and talk to each other while they're putting their makeup on, take a shower. It's just really not appropriate with men. And a lot of guys are funny like that. They don't want you in their company while they're indisposed. Just because. So, Rod, you're not making any sense here. Now, I don't know if you're making this shit up, but he did pay that Cassie lady. So I believe there's some truth to the allegation she had against him. I don't know if you're feeding off the BS that she brought out to the public. Maybe there's truth. He likes to film people when he's having sex. Maybe he has cameras in his house hidden, open. I don't know. But it's against the law in a lot of states. You cannot film people without their permission. You can't even record people's conversations in some states, okay? So it's wrong to be filming people. And if he's filming people in the bathroom, he's really fucking foul. Because you're not supposed to be filming anyone in the restroom, powder room, public or private bathrooms.
It's crazy. Combs for a claim of sexual assault and harassment. Jones says that this resulted in severe emotional distress and anxiety. And as we go through some of these claims, keep in mind what he alleged that he suffered as a result of Combs' action. This is the injury or harm element that you need for the purposes of damages. What happened to you? What did you suffer? Meaning, what could Jones recover? Keep that in mind. The Jones claims that Combs attempted to groom him into homosexual sex. And one of the ways that Jones says Combs tried to do that was by using producer Stephen Aaron Jordan, who Jones apparently looked up to. Combs allegedly showed Jones a video of Jordan engaging in a sex act with another man as a way to, quote, ease his anxiety concerning homosexuality. And included in this complaint are alleged screenshots of that reported video. By the way.
So now we got this Steve Aaron Jordan. He's on one of the reality TV shows, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, I believe. Is this an actual video? Because this is bad if it's true. P. Diddy, please tell me you do not have a video of this Aaron dude, Jordan dude, having sex with a man. Because then we have to ask ourselves, where did P. Diddy get that video from? Stay woke. But like minds, birds of a feather. So let's say he's gay, they're sharing videos, swapping, maybe they've been together, had sex, group sex. Now here you go, you over here, little Rod's face showing him, hey man, it's all right. Ain't nobody gotta know. Here, look at the video. Homeboy, he down, he popular, he's masculine, but he likes a little, you know, ding ding on occasion. Is P. Diddy a groomer? Because if they can verify that's Jordan in that damn video, this is bad. Because then you got to ask, how did Diddy get the video to show Lil Rod? So if you've got this type of content of your homeboy messing with a man on a video, and then you're showing it to Lil Rod, who else you done showed it to, that would make us believe the allegation from the young girl who had said she was assaulted back in the 90s, that he taped her and showed it to people, and they went back and told her, oh, I've seen you in the video. That goes back. This shows you a pattern. This is R. Kelly all over again. So then you have to ask yourself that. How many people are doing this? Filming women in their house. Filming men, their escapades, menage a trois, whatever. Because that stuff can get on the dark web. And I'm sure some people have heard that they've been seen in dark web videos. Hey man, lady, I was watching a video on a porn site and that sure looked like you in that video. Can you imagine hearing that about yourself? That you've been with somebody you trusted, whether it was a fling or whatever it was, and then you find out they taped you. And whether they sold the tape, put it on a dark website, whatever, or they kept it just for their own personal use, it's out there. Somebody else has seen it. Now imagine it's posted on the dark web. Millions of people probably seen it. revenge porn, as they call it. Because once you share it, that's basically what it is. And you can't say, well, I didn't mean no harm. Once you show it to somebody else, what else would you call it? Oh, you like her that much, you want to show the world what she can do behind closed doors, what you were doing? So I'm going to ask this. If it's true that P. Diddy likes men, are you showing everybody you fucking men? How about that? Are you showing videos of you having sex with men, P. Diddy, Sean Combs? That's what I want to know. Because this is ridiculous. And I believe there are more people who could tell the story. They might not want to be seen and heard. That you do have these wild type parties. Just like somebody, Cat Williams said, went to a party and it was all men. Now, it's one thing if you're having a sports party, football party, or basketball game's on, you want to watch the game at your house, invite a couple fellas over. That's different. But a party, where people get up, put their nice clothes on. I don't think no man wants to go to a fucking party and it's nothing but a bunch of men in there, unless he's gay or he's bisexual. So I believe if that's true, because I'm not here to say Cat is lying, you are baiting people. Let me get a reaction out of them. Let me see what they'll say. Let me see where they'll go. You're a weird duck. If this shit is true, man, you're weird.
Jones alleges that
Fucking
Combs
weird.
has hidden cameras in every room of his various homes, and that he has secret recordings of celebrities and associates, this compromising footage of every person that has attended his parties, which, by the way, from a legal point of view, would be a violation of civil privacy laws and criminal privacy laws, perhaps even implicate revenge porn type statutes.
Hidden cameras in the rooms. For what? You're the only one staying there, allegedly. So why do you need cameras? Now I can see having cameras for in case somebody breaks into your house. ADT, that type of shit. But if you got cameras in the restroom, if that information ever gets out, somebody can finally see, hear that they're in the videos doing whatever. If it's just urinating. Hell yeah, they can sue you. What you say, bro? I've been hearing about these all men parties for years. Okay. See, this is crazy to me. And by law, you can have whatever you want in your house. But the point is, you don't need cameras in the restroom. A person has a right to go to the restroom. Do you have people doing things they don't have any business doing on video at your house and parties and functions, sir? Have you showed these videos to other people? Because you would not be on my favorite list if I knew you had videos of me kissing somebody by a swimming pool or by a magnolia tree. You understand what I'm saying? Because what I'm doing is my damn business. See, there's something wrong with you if these allegations are true. Okay? But this is all the shit we heard with R. Kelly. All this. All this is similar to R. Kelly. All this voyeuristic shit, this filming stuff. Gotta film somebody having sex. Gotta film somebody indisposed. That's creepy as hell. That's stalkerish as well. It's sadistic. Because you're invading a person's personal space. Somebody comes to visit you. They don't need to see or hear a playback of what they did at your house. Whether they walked around the house, looked at the house, sat on the roof, had sex with you, whatever. Who wants to hear it back? This is crazy as hell. Is your mama? How about that? Let's finish this, everybody.
Anyway, continuing on with this alleged grooming campaign, Combs even allegedly admitted that he had engaged in sexual intercourse with, quote, an unidentified Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj, as well as, quote, an R&B singer who performed at the Super Bowl. Now, there are those who have speculated online that Philly rapper is Meek Mill, and the R&B singer who performed at the Super Bowl could be Usher. On Twitter, at Meek Mill.
Now, allegedly, Rod says P. Diddy told him he's been with somebody that's a rapper that dated Nicki Minaj and a musician who performed at the Super Bowl. So, did he not mention their names and the guy figured it out that it was allegedly, I want to say alleged because I don't know if this is true, that it's Meek Mill and Usher. See, this is jacked up. Because if Lil Rod has put these two people's names in paperwork, how do you feel about them? Or what they have to say about you? Because they're going to have something to say. Meek Mill has been kind of, delicate with his commentary. He ain't went ham. Usher hasn't responded to my knowledge. This is jacked up. Because now you're throwing two other men under the bus on alleged hearsay from P. Diddy. So P. Diddy, what do you have to say now about this allegation of these two men? I don't know if you told him directly or he just guessed those were the two men. You just talked around the subject, not wanting to actually say their names. So did you actually say their names or Lil Rod put two and two together because you talked in circles? Why would you even do this in the first place? You understand what I'm saying? That's what I don't understand. Why even do it? And to me, that's grooming and baiting as well. Because let's just say it's true. Or not true. I'll tell them I've been with these two guys. They're famous. Everybody thinks they're heterosexuals, whatever. Maybe he'll then want to do something with me. See, this is what makes no sense to me. If I'm to believe these allegations, why not just come out and say, hey, I'm attracted to you. Let's do something. Nobody has to know. I won't tell anybody. You won't tell anybody. Why throw out, you've been with this guy, they're famous, blah, blah, blah. Let's just say it's true because I don't know if it's true. But let's just say it's true. You've been with these guys, whatever. Or you haven't been with these famous people. If you're attracted to Lil Rod or whoever company you're in, why the fuck you gotta mention who you've been with and all that old type of nonsense when you can just go straight to the horse, you're looking at the horse and tell the horse, hey, I like you, I'm attracted to you. It's weird. This is weird.
Posted on his account, quote, one love to the gay people, and then talked about graphic detail, how he much prefers or loves a certain part of the female anatomy. He wrote, quote, every black blog site enhanced that post to make me seem gay. I change laws for our people. I donate millions. They are designed to destroy the image of black leaders. It can't work with me, though. You got to
what, JR?
Me, and I still will get bigger after death.
What you talking about, JR? What spirits? The evil spirits?
One of the people to jump into the mix online was actually social media influencer and former kickboxer Andrew Tate. As you know, we covered Tate's legal troubles in Romania before here on Sidebar, as he's facing charges of rape, sex trafficking, and sexual exploitation. But Tate posted the question on Twitter, quote, so P. Diddy was having sex with Meek Mill and Usher? Meek Mill responded, was you sex trafficking women? TF wrong with you, Brody. Tate responded, I only asked a question because everyone is saying it happened. It's true or not. As for Usher, as far as we can see, he didn't respond to any of the assertions in this lawsuit. And you could argue, why should he, as he's not directly mentioned by name or implicated, but something that happened.
But right. Usher hasn't responded. And sometimes that's the best way to go. You don't respond. As for Meek Mill's response, very simple. Hey, what's up with you, bruh? Talking to this Mr. Tate. And allegedly, Mr. Tate, you are accused of sex trafficking and God knows what else. Don't know if that's true or not. But this is how I look at it. Mr. Tate, if you've been doing improprieties with women, you don't have no business worrying about what the fuck P. Diddy's doing. Usher, Pookie, Ray, or nobody. You need to sweep around your own front damn door. That's the funny thing about sadists. They never want to own what they're doing, but they worry about what the fuck somebody's doing over here on 15th Street. Don't worry about what they're doing over there. You worry about what the hell you got going on and who the hell's suing you. Now, back to this Usher Meek Mill business. Usher, yeah, people going to be waiting for you to respond. Probably best you don't say nothing. I just saw something about you in some video with Mr. What's his name? I can't think of his name. He was in the music business too. line of clothes business. Mr. Simmons. I don't know what that mess is about. Some photograph and something about him coming sitting on his bed, some comment. See, this is when shit gets out of control. Because then people start critiquing every little thing that you do and say. All because of an allegation made about you. You get one person to say that you're gay, bisexual, you're a sadist, you're a rapist, you're whatever it is. The next thing you know, somebody starts going back in the book of life and starts thinking back to the last time they were around you, something you said they thought was strange. Maybe you didn't mean to say it. Maybe you did. It was something crass. Now they're looking at you like, oh, I think he's a serial killer. Oh, I think he's a rapist. Oh, I think he's a child molester. Because that's what people do. And know that these are just allegations. I'm not here to say that they're truthful, but when is it going to stop? Because you already paid one person off, Miss Ventura. She went around and around with you for what, 13 or so years? And many people are going to judge her. Why would you stay in it this long, ma'am? To be abused, sex trafficking, drugs, sex partners. Never clarified if they were men or women. And many people are going to be curious. When you say sex workers, are you talking about women? Or are you talking about men? Or are you talking about both? He's watching. He's masturbating. The fuck? So he likes making his own porn videos. So much for just watching porn with your girlfriend. Hell no, we're going to make our own video. I'll go get the people and you just act it out with them. I'm going to sit over here in this big boy chair or little girl chair. Shut up, Quay. And I'm going to watch and touch myself and get off. So then people going to wonder, did he ever join in? Or he just stood in a corner watching film? But then we got Lil Rod saying, oh, I woke up in the bed with him and two sex workers, and I was disoriented walking around the house. So he believes he was drugged by P. Diddy, allegedly. Hot, but a mess is putting it out there.
Has created a bit of buzz online is an interview that Usher did years back on the Howard Stern show, where he talked about living with Sean Combs as a teenager as part of P. Diddy's, it's called Puffy's Flavor Camp. He said, quote, I got a chance to see some things. I went there to see the lifestyle and I saw it. It was pretty wild. It was crazy. They called me Baby Boo. He went on to say he wasn't disciplinary. He was letting me be a young man. Quote, I will always look at him like a brother. But when he was asked if he would send his children to the camp, he responded, quote, hell no. Quick note, by the way, another high-profile celebrity jumped into the mix as well with all of this Diddy controversy going on, and that's comedian Cat Williams. You might have heard about this, because in an interview with Vlad TV recently, he said he had attended one of Diddy's parties where he found out it was just men there, and he claimed that Diddy had tried to stop him from leaving, making strange, suggestive comments, even threatening and harassing him at one point. Williams had gone on to say, quote, I am not gay, and I am not going to sleep with you. Okay, but moving.
So what did he say to Mr. Williams, Cat Williams, directly for Mr. Williams to say, I'm not going to sleep with you, I'm not gay? So what did P. Diddy say to him? And why are you threatening somebody because they want to leave your fucking house? See, this is what we call baiting and grooming. He sets the scene up to get a reaction. That's the point of doing it. Now, I like Cat Williams, and I'm not going to sit here and say Cat's lying. If the man felt uncomfortable and felt like there was some hanky-panky shit that looks like it's a man-on-man type business, then I'm going to assume he's a grown man, he knows how he felt, and I'm not here to call him no liar. Now, somebody might look and say, well, you're basically saying that P. Diddy's that way then. Well, I guess hell yeah, I am. And then you're threatening the man. How are you going to threaten somebody because they don't want to stay at your fucking house or your party or your function? That would lead me to believe that it was something up that was nefarious. I'm grown. I don't have to stay. I got in. I walked in the door. I don't like what I'm seeing. I want to leave. What's the problem? What you think? Because he's a little person, he's a shorter person, he wouldn't fight back? He ain't going to do nothing? What are you going to do? Strong arm or what? This is stupid to me. You better come on, man. We gonna have a good time. Man. Why you want to leave, man? Everything all right. You like threatening people. You threaten Suge Knight. That's even more funny. Because Suge Knight ain't nothing but a big ass bullet. So that's what I'm seeing with you music moguls. You like to strong arm people. So you like to bully, shoot, carry guns, weapons. Then we had Mr. Suge Knight, big old bully on the West Coast. shaking Mr. Vanilla Ice over a balcony for the rights of his music. And you see where he's at now, P. Diddy. So we got to ask that question. Will there be charges? Now, the statute of limitations, all that's gone as far as New York. So other jurisdictions may not have this law. So if these women, men, whomever, boys, girls, whatever, live in some other jurisdiction, I would assume they could sue him. Because I don't know how that's going to work, because that's just New York. But somebody, I believe, could bring forward a charge or allegation against him in, let's say Idaho, Utah. That shouldn't have any bearing on New York. And that's something I meant to mention the other day, JR. He was always in those young people's videos. Clout chasing. Won't everybody know I'm a part of this. I'm over this. I'm the producer. You see a lot of people who produce music. They're in the videos, like that other entertainer, Big Boy with Rihanna. He was always in the little videos too, showing who he is with Drake and all that. There's nothing wrong with once or twice, but all the time, it's not good. Let your people shine. Let your proteges shine. And then that issue with Shine and that shit with the gun. Are you the one that had the gun and shot it off and Shine took the rap? I would have took the rap for you. And nobody could call me a snitch because, as they say, a woman said this recently. She said, snitching only applies if you're involved. Let me say that again. Snitching only applies if you are involved. So therefore, I ain't done shit. I ain't getting ready to take no rap for you. Who are you for me to take a rap for a gun, shooting, carrying it, whatever? Hell no. Because that shit about loyalty in the street, for those who've never lived a street life, it doesn't exist. It never has. The same people who push that agenda are the same ones who would rat your ass out, throw you under the bus, set you up, rob you, whatever. Just the way it is. Set you up. So there's no loyalty. So there's no way I would have took no gun charge. For what? I'm not taking no gun charge.
Forward in the lawsuit,
No
Jones
charge.
claims that on Thanksgiving Day 2022, Combs offered Jones cocaine, and then rapper Young Miami, her female cousin or assistant, identified as Jane Doe 1, tried to sexually assault Jones, including in front of Combs. And Jones, in fact, again, attached screenshots from a video of Combs, Jones, Young Miami, and Jane Doe 1 on that day. Now, this makes up the fourth listed cause of action in the lawsuit. He is suing Jane Doe 1 for sexual assault. Jones says that her actions were willful and malicious and frightened him. He's also suing her for both negligent and intentional infliction of emotional distress. By the way, he also ends up suing Combs for negligent and intentional infliction of emotional distress for a lot of this behavior that he says is extreme and outrageous. But speaking of which...
So now he's accusing some female associated with Young Miami. So you mean to tell me you felt threatened for your life because a woman was groping you or doing something sexual? Then why you just tell her to stop? Homegirl, I ain't interested. Back up. You act like you don't know how to talk for a man. This is why I'm confused. So this is what I want to know, the real interaction between you and Puffy, his constituents, his associates. Because I got a feeling, if my right mind wants to believe that Puffy gets down like this with men, you have done something with him. And you felt undervalued, unappreciated, used, and now you want to cry wolf alongside these other people. Because you can't make a logical thinking person understand a grown man hanging in the company of a man who is bisexual, gay, whatever. It doesn't add up. And if other people are attesting that he has these weird parties, men only parties, he was, you know, saying derogatory things or sexual things that'll lead a man to believe that he sways that way. You are stupid for hanging around him and got the nerve to cry that you Christian, you're a Christian man. I'm a Christian heterosexual. Well, if you're a Christian heterosexual, then why the fuck are you hanging around somebody that's groping you and making nasty remarks? Wanting to show you homosexual videos. How's that Christian? If anything, you should have been ministering to your friend P. Diddy. P. Diddy, now you know this ain't right. That's all you have to do. Exactly, Anthony. And we know that people are more lax now, but this doesn't make any sense. You trying to live right, you trying to make music, you trying to make your name in Hollywood, whatever, the music industry, this is not the way to do it. And everybody knows this because these things have been told to women. You don't have to lie down on the casting couch. Somebody makes a pass at you inappropriately, you let them know you're not down with that, and you keep it moving. You're a grown man, you're not a woman. So this doesn't make any sense for you to even be telling the world this stupid stuff, because first time you got an inkling dude was that way, you should have got your stuff and kept it moving. Hey, homeboy, thanks for the ride, but I'm out of here. That's why you get your check up front, you do the job, and you check out. When you see something that you don't like in a person's behavior, you keep it moving. Do you want to tell them about it? That's on you. So this leads me to believe you're not very masculine. Because a masculine man would have had no problem putting Diddy in his fucking place. Hey, homeboy, no disrespect, but I don't like all that touching. I don't like all that hugging. Diddy would have stopped. All right, he ain't going. Even if he feel like, he ain't mean no harm. You tell him how you feel, that's it. You still feel uncomfortable? Round one, get the hell out of Dodge. You live with the man, so how stupid is that? Who gonna go live with somebody making overt commentary and touching and feeling and showing a porn of men? That means you with it. So don't come crying now trying to act like, oh, well, I just did it because I needed a job and I need the money. Hell, you're suing for money now that he didn't pay you. You should have got your fucking money. Hey, dude, I need more money. Hey, I'm doing more work than I should be doing. Hey, you're not paying me. That's all you had to say to him. Because look at what you're doing now. People don't know if you're telling the truth, you lying. Because really, you're making yourself look bad. Let's just say Diddy's all these things. You're still with the shit because you rode the donkey ride. So you got to own your part. We all have to own the part we play in dealing with people. That girl needs to own her part. Staying in an abusive relationship for 13 years, on and off, whatever. You got to own your part for riding this ride with him, seeing what he was made of, and you still hung around him because you're doing just what everybody else did with R. Kelly and all these other sadists. You are aiding them. You're putting them up on a pedestal, and then later you decide to backstab them for the almighty dollar.
Jones is also suing Combs too for this same alleged assault by J. Doe 1 under the premises liability theory. Basically, Jones is arguing that Combs is responsible because this alleged assault happened on Combs' property. He saw this happen, and he had a duty as the owner of the property to protect Jones from harm. That's actually a common theme we see in personal injury cases. If something happens to your guests on your property, your business, your home, you could be legally responsible. Then there is the Cuba Gooding Jr. Oh yeah, Jones claims he believes Combs was grooming Jones to pass him off to his friends. And he claims that one day on Combs' yacht, Combs suggested that the actor, quote, get to know Jones, left him alone, and then Cuba Gooding Jr. allegedly touched, fondled Mr. Jones. Jones had to allegedly push him away. Again, there are screenshots of not only Combs and Gooding Jr. together allegedly on that yacht, but also Gooding Jr. and Jones, where you can see
in the studio
arm around the producer and sitting right next to him. Jones appears to be smiling. One of the causes of action.
Is this true? Puff Diddy, you were trying to pass Lil Rod over to your friends. So when we say pass, are we talking about you two that done something? Because that sounds like something that a man would do with a woman. He's already had sex with her, so he passes her over to his homeboys. And you can't pass a person without their permission. So I'm trying to understand, what are you all talking about? Because if you haven't done anything with Diddy, how can you be passed over to the friends? Or are we talking about he's trying to see if one of his friends can get you to do something? What the fuck are we talking about here? This is stupid. So Cuba, are you going to respond to this allegation that you were groping Mr. Rod too? So then we got to ask you, are you gay or bisexual? Because we already know you got sexual harassment suits against you as well. Well, you apologize, I believe, for being inappropriate with a woman waitress or some bullshit. So then I thought about that. I said, well, hell, Cuba likes touching people inappropriate too. Hell, maybe he liked men too. Damn. Wow, wow, wow. And Cuba Gooding don't even like black folks. That's funny. I said it. He don't even like black women. So help me understand that. Most of the women he has been with were white. So now he like black men. What the fuck are we talking about? What in the hell is going on out here? Cuba, you like boys. You like white women, but you like black boys. What the fuck? Lil Rod, are you just gonna tell the truth, baby? You done mess with Diddy. And you trying to get your payday. You saw some things, heard some things. You went down with some things. You feeling bad about maybe what you've done. I don't know, because I'm trying to understand a straight man allowing another man to grope him. Because grope means just that. Somebody touched you in your privateness. So you allowed a grown man to touch your private parts. And then I'm supposed to believe you ain't never done nothing with this same man.
It's against Combs, again, for premises liability, because Jones claims Gooding Jr. sexually assaulted and harassed him on Combs' yacht.
Brief intermission. Where the hell is this going? Oh, wow. This is bad. God knows it's really worse if it's not true. Somebody had as much hate.
Which brings up another event.
It's allowed
A
you.
shooting that happened at Chalice Recording Studios in LA, where after a heated fight between Combs, his son Justin, and Justin's friend identified as G, gunshots rang out. G was lying on the ground with blood coming out of his hip leg area. Jones claims that Combs allegedly told his team to tell police that he had nothing to do with this. And then Jones, in the lawsuit, provided screenshots of the bloodstained bathroom where he claims G was shot by either Combs or his son. And he claims he still has the clothing that you can test for DNA. Now, one of the claims or causes of action in this lawsuit was against Combs and his son Justin.
Let's go back to that. Hold on.
Gunshots rang out. G appears to be smiling. One of the call. And then Jones, in the lawsuit, provided screenshots of the bloodstained bathroom where he claims G was shot. His son Justin and Justin's friend identified as G. Gunshots rang out. G was lying on the ground with blood coming out of his hip leg area. Jones claims that Combs allegedly told his team to tell police that he had nothing to do with this. And And then Jones, in the lawsuit, provided screenshots of the bloods after a heated fight between Combs. In the lawsuit, Jones brings up another event. This is a shooting that happened at Chalice Recording Studios in LA, where after a heated fight between Combs, his son Justin, and Justin's friend identified as G, gunshots rang out. G was lying on the ground with blood coming out of his hip leg area. Jones claims that Combs allegedly told his team to tell police that he had nothing to do with this. And then Jones, in the lawsuit, provided screenshots of the bloodstained bathroom where he claims G was shot by either Combs or his son. And he claims he still has the clothing that you can test for DNA. Now, one of the claims or causes of action in this lawsuit is against Combs and his son Justin under California's bystander negligent infliction of emotional distress. This is the idea here is that this shooting of G traumatized Jones and that has caused him to suffer PTSD and depression. And then there was another.
So now you say that Sean, his son Justin, Justin's friend, got into some arguments. The friend got shot at a recording studio. And Puffy told his team, whomever that is, he's not involved. I guess his PR team, I don't know. And he kept the bloody clothes. So let's say this is true. Who shot him? Why? Were they drunk? High? And Sean, why would you keep the damn clothes? What sense does that make? What sense would it make for you to keep the damn clothes? This is ignorant.
Cause of action against the various entities like Universal Music Group and Motown Records for this shooting, again, under a premises liability theory that they failed in their duty to provide adequate security at Chalice Studios. The shooting could have been prevented. Talking complicated lawsuits, let me just take a minute to thank a team that really knows about the law. Attorney Tom and Associates, they're a great sponsor of this episode of Sidebar. Look, if you find yourself in a position where you need a lawyer, finding the right one can be tricky at times. Well, that is where Attorney Tom comes in. So Tom and his team, they have this blend of deep legal knowledge and skills, but they also care. They have genuine empathy for their client.
Enough of that.
Time until you win, which just furthers
These infomercials make me sick.
the support at theattorneytom.com/sidebar link pinned in the comments for a free consultation.
Everybody's got to get their coins. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Lord.
Moving on, Jones also talks about an event from this past summer, July 2nd, 2023, in California. He claims that Combs had a party with underage girls and sex workers at his home, and his son and an unidentified R&B artist were there. Now, again, embedded in this lawsuit, in this complaint, are screenshots of a video taken of this party where it allegedly shows Combs either kissing or dancing almost face to face with a reported underage girl. And the thing about the screenshots from these videos, too, let me just talk about it. Jones usually claims in the suit that the writer is in possession of the video and this can be provided to court. We don't know exactly at this point what the videos do or do not show or the context or what they can prove, but the screenshots in and of themselves are important to establish what we call in the law a prima facie case, meaning at first sight or first impression, the evidence is sufficient to support the claims. Now, moving forward, Jones argues that he was working for Sean Combs under an implied work-for-hire agreement. Work-for-hire is when you're paid to create something for somebody else. You don't own the rights to what you create. In this case, Combs would own the rights to the songs that were produced by Jones. But Jones says he wasn't paid for the songs he produced, even though he says Combs and the defendants benefited from his work product. He says he was only offered $29,000 for all of his work over the course of 13 months. And talking about his job duties during this time that Jones was working with Combs, he states that he was, quote, forced to solicit sex workers and perform sex acts for the pleasure of Mr. Combs. On or about February 2nd, 2023, Mr. Jones believes Mr. Combs drugged him. Mr. Jones recalls waking up naked.
Wait.
This time that Jones was working with Combs, he states that he was, quote, forced to solicit sex workers and perform sex acts for the pleasure of Mr. Combs. On or about
sex acts. What are you talking about? What is it that you were supposed to do? I don't understand this comment. This makes no sense. Let me rewind this.
to solicit sex workers?
Forced to solicit sex workers and perform sex acts to the pleasure of Mr. Combs. So he asked you this one time, two times, what? This is, I don't understand nothing. All this is BS.
Perform sex acts to the pleasure of Mr. Combs. And that Jones was working with Combs, he states that he was, quote, forced to solicit sex workers and perform sex acts for the pleasure of Mr. Combs.
So when you say he forced you to do what? Go out and find sex workers. Right there it says forced to solicit sex workers. So solicit means to go out seeking. Perform sex acts means to perform to the pleasure of Mr. Combs. This makes no sense to me. You are a grown man. So how's he going to make you go get a sex worker, go be with a sex worker, and how is he going to make you perform a sex act? So what are you saying? He told you, go get the sex worker, or here's the sex worker, do something with the sex worker, like what Cassie was saying. He go get the sex workers, and then he expect her to go do something, or he forced her to do it. Okay, you're a grown-ass man. She was 19 when she met him. So let's just say she was, awestruck, became addicted to him, whatever, lost her mind, scared, whatever. Okay, you're a grown-ass man. So basically, some of the stuff you're saying is similar to the allegations she has against him. How are you a man that's straight, being forced to solicit sex workers and also perform acts for the pleasure of Mr. Combs? This makes no damn sense what you're saying. So where was Mr. Combs while you are performing these sex acts with the sex workers, or solicit them and perform sex acts? Where's Mr. Combs? Help me. Oh, once again, in the chair watching, touching himself.
On or about February 2nd, 2023, Mr. Jones believes Mr. Combs drugged him. Mr. Jones recalls waking up naked, dizzy, confused. He was in bed with two sex workers and Mr. Combs. He also recalls aimlessly wandering around the house with no clothes on. Quote, as part of Mr. Jones' sex worker recruitment tools, Mr. Combs provided Mr. Jones with an exclusive bad boy baseball cap and required him to wear it to booby trap on the river, that's a strip club, as a signal to any sex worker he approached that Mr. Combs was in town, and had sent Mr. Jones to recruit them. And you might be saying, well, what happens if Jones refused to do any of this?
Before we get into that answer, do you see you're complicit to the bullshit? The more you bring allegations, the more you talked, this bullshit you're spreading right now shows you are complicit in whatever Sean was doing, whatever the son was doing. You say that he used the son to go out and get sex workers, underage girls as well. Now you're sitting here saying you put on a cap to go into a sex club or whatever, strip club, and the girls knew that Puffy was in town by the type of hat you had on. So that means Puffy already had a rapport built with this establishment. So he's using you, and you had to know what it meant at some point. So what are you trying to tell us? You didn't know at first. He just said, hey, man, put this cap on, go in there. And do what? Just stand around, drink lemonade, what? This makes no sense. None of this shit you're saying just makes no damn sense. You went in a strip club, put a hat on, which let the women that's working, doing that type of work know, oh, P. Diddy's in town. Game on. Okay. So how long did it take you before you realized what was going on? Day one, he told you, put this cap on, girls are going to come to you, we're going to take them home, blah, 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 or you just put two and two together down the road. This is crazy to me.
While Jones claims
It's the Rose to Go anniversary sale. Save on this inviting two-piece sectional in your choice.
Sorry about that. I'll drink it here in a minute. I'll drink some Chardonnay when I'm done. Thank you.
Mr. Combs would often switch up his approach. He would go from promising Mr. Jones the world to threatening Mr. Jones with physical harm. Mr. Combs threatened to eat Mr. Jones's face and inform Mr. Jones that he is willing to kill his mother, Janice Combs, if he must, in order to get what he wants, so he wouldn't think twice to harm Mr. Jones. Claims that he was also told Combs' head of security, Fahim Muhammad, had the power to make people disappear. Keeping up with that theme of instilling fear, Jones said that Combs would show off his guns, that he would brag about shooting people, that he confessed that he was responsible for that infamous 1999 shooting outside of a New York City nightclub. According to Jones, Combs had told him that J-Lo, who Combs had dated at the time, she was the one who carried the gun into the club for him, passed the gun to him when he got into that altercation outside the club when shots were fired and 3 people were injured. Jones claims that Combs admitted he forced his artist at the time, Shine, to be the fall guy, to take the blame for the shooting. He was sentenced for 10 years in prison, by the way. Now, Jones claims...
What's the truth to what he's saying now? A lot of allegations against P. Diddy. Solicitation, having sex, drugging people, use of drugs, son soliciting young girls underage, P. Diddy with young girls, sex trafficking from state to state, flying 1, 2 here, there, touching you, groping you, using Cuba Gooding Jr. to grope you, showing you videos of other people. You've mentioned Aaron Hall's been mentioning this mess with the other young girl. Then you've mentioned this Jordan guy. P. Diddy showed you videos of him having sex with a man. Now we got J-Lo being mentioned by P. Diddy allegedly. He's giving her gun to carry into an establishment. Now we're mentioning Shine. He talked Shine into taking a rap for a shooting. Is that true? Lord have mercy. Now we got to wait to hear from J-Lo. What's she going to say? If Shine's going to admit to, yeah, that wasn't me. This was all his doing. He did the shooting, blah, blah, blah. You done threw a lot of people's names under the bus. Rappers, singers, friends, associates. J-Lo, Shine. This Jordan dude. And you got to still be able to walk around. You didn't think about that, did you? So you think you're going to be walking around and being in the music business after you done threw all these people's names out, and you don't think you're going to be somewhere in life and walk and bump into any of these people whose names you just threw out saying what Sean Combs told you about them. Are you hearing yourself? He said, and he said, and he said, if I didn't know any better, I'd say you was a fucking woman. Because that's all you've done in this depositional conversation. It's repeated what Sean Combs allegedly told you. Now, he could be lying and making up some of this stuff to make himself seem important. Now you also talking about he's threatening you and this and that, and he's a bully. Possibly. Well, you know, back in the day, they used to talk about him. I always wanted to be in people's videos, so maybe there's some truth to him clout chasing and wanting to seem important, being a bully, threatening people, putting his hands on people, beating up women, sex trafficking, sadists, homosexuality. Did I leave anything out? Yeah, the only thing we ain't mentioned is fraud. But if he's been lying about who he really is, then he would be considered a fraud. How about that?
With all of this, he was terrified. He was terrified, and we're going to get into why that is important in just a bit. But Jones makes a comparison in this lawsuit to, of all people, Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, he claims that defendant Christina Coram, Combs' chief of staff, is like Ghislaine Maxwell, the former associate or madam of Epstein, who was convicted of her own sex trafficking-related charges, serving a 20-year prison sentence. For instance, when Jones went to court to report Combs, she allegedly said, quote,
I will, right after this live stream.
And Jones said that Coram made sure her assistants kept Combs high. She made sure that all the employees would readily carry around drugs for Combs whenever he wanted them. And that included forcing Jones to carry a drug pouch. She also made sure to procure sex workers for Combs. Basically says that she was instrumental in this RICO or criminal enterprise of illicit drugs, guns.
So he made him carry a drug pouch.
Her assistants kept Combs high. She made sure that all the employees would readily carry around drugs for Combs whenever he wanted them. And that included forcing Jones to carry a
Say what?
sentence. For instance, when Jones went to court to report Combs, she allegedly said, quote, Sean will be Sean. And Jones said that Cora made sure her assistants kept Combs high. She made sure that all the employees would readily carry around drugs for Combs whenever he wanted them. And that included forcing Jones to carry a drug pouch. She also made sure to procure sex workers for Combs. Basically says that she was instrumental in this RICO or criminal enterprise of illicit drugs, guns, sex acts, including facilitating freak-offs, which we had heard of in the Cassie Ventura lawsuit. These are sexual episodes directed by Combs. But now let's talk about, real quickly, some of the more remaining causes of action or claims in this lawsuit. I mentioned there were 15. We've already gone over a bunch of them. But Jones alleges that Combs, his son, various associates, and companies like Motown, Holmes Global, Love Records, UMG, they all engaged in illegal racketeering enterprise in violation of the federal RICO statute. And that statute provides someone who is injured a right to sue. Jones argues these companies are liable for the actions of Combs, his son, Cora, because they were all employees or agents of these entities acting on their behalf. That these entities should have been monitoring or warning or supervising what they were allegedly doing. The big thing here is that they were all part of a criminal enterprise, namely making money by forcing and threatening people like Jones to transport drugs and guns, soliciting minors and sex workers, making music without properly paying them. The common purpose of this enterprise is, quote, to enrich themselves financially and sexually at the expense of producers and musicians like Jones.
Yes.
And they claim that Jones was promised cash payments, Grammy awards, access to future projects, access to famous celebrities, and that the defendants profited from this enterprise, and that Plaintiff Jones suffered because the enterprise diminished his finances. And Jones argues that this criminal enterprise engaged in mail and wire fraud to carry out this scheme. Now, there is another cause of action under the Trafficking and Victim Protection Act of the DDPA. This is a major law that was instituted to fight against domestic and international human slavery. It alleged that Combs and his associates participated in and furthered a sex trafficking venture by forcing and threatening people like Jones and minors to engage in commercial sex acts. The defendants were hiding money, they weren't paying taxes, this was all a dangerous criminal enterprise. And he also alleges that UMG, Motown, and these entities, that they aided and abetted and induced the sex trafficking venture. They violated the law, they benefited from it financially, they obstructed enforcement of the TVPA, and that they provided Combs with the cash, the lines of credit, the opportunity to do all this. They concealed his alleged misconduct and his crimes. In fact, Jones says that these defendants should have taken a cue when Jeffrey Epstein was prosecuted. They should have known better. So this is a major lawsuit, right? And what Jones is asking for in this lawsuit, after laying all this out, he is looking for a few things. Among other things, he's seeking the court to make a legal determination that the defendants violated New York law. He is looking for damages to compensate him for lost wages, incomes, but also for mental anguish, humiliation, pain and suffering, distress. He's looking for punitive damages, which is a way to punish the defendants, and we've seen those numbers sometimes far exceed compensatory damages. Look at the Alex Jones case. But he's also seeking medical expenses. He's seeking injunctive relief. That's when you have an order for the court to actually stop somebody from doing something. And I said, look, this is a major lawsuit, but obviously the defendants will have an opportunity to respond. This is usually an answer to a complaint. It's a formal written response where you either
4
admit or
votes,
deny
50% each.
Look,
Take the
what I
polls.
just laid out are allegations, disturbing allegations, but allegations nonetheless. Jones still has to prove this happened. Defendants could assert that this is all made up, or that there is context to all of this, that this is speculation, that the videos, the photos, the screenshots, they really don't show anything. And I also imagine they could argue at trial, we're supposed to believe all these crimes were taking place, and Jones didn't report any of it?
Right.
Could he just be a disgruntled employee?
Right.
Well, that is why I mentioned before the fear component that Jones brings up is so important. The idea that he was threatened, he was afraid come forward. That's why you hear a lot about this in the lawsuit. And by the way, you also have multiple defendants who may take different actions during the course of this litigation. Hostility of a settlement. You don't want more coming out, especially if Jones claims he actually has videos available proving this alleged misconduct, or through the discovery process, he could unearth these allegedly secret recordings from Combs' homes that he has. Now, Combs' attorney, John Holley, released a statement calling Jones a liar and that he, quote, is shamelessly looking for an undeserved payday. His reckless name dropping about events that are pure fiction and simply did not happen is nothing more than a transparent attempt to garner headlines. Goes on to state, quote, we have overwhelming, indisputable proof that his claims are complete lies. Our attempts to share this proof with Mr. Jones's attorney, Tyrone Blackburn, have been ignored. We will address these outlandish allegations in court and take all appropriate actions against those who make them. Now, as this civil case wraps itself up, something just to think about. As you can tell, there are criminal aspects to these allegations, but we know that the standard of proof is higher in criminal cases. It's proof beyond a reasonable doubt. So even if Jones could prove this in civil court, all you need to show is preponderance of the evidence that more likely than not these things occurred. It doesn't mean that prosecutors would immediately take up these cases against Combs and these defendants. And also there are other considerations like the statute of limitations. Would you even prosecute these crimes? Are they too old? Okay, that was a lot to get there.
Sure
Thank
was.
you so much for joining us here on this episode of Sidebar. Please.
All right, Law and Crime is the source. Thank you all so much for joining me. Welcome to the Vault XL. This commentary is pertaining to P. Diddy and the allegations against him by Mr. Rod Jones. He was a producer, videographer that worked for P. Diddy. He has a lot of allegations that are mentioned during this video. Feel free to check it out in the YouTube queue and also on my community page. Take the polls on my page. Take the polls during this live stream. Make your voice count. 50 people watching. 5 votes. Come on, you guys. Will Diddy pay Lil Rod? 5 people voted. 80% says yes. Well, P. Diddy says he's not paying nobody else. And it's just like you heard in this commentary. You pay one, you might as well pay them all. And that's the whole point. When will it end? Because anybody can just jump out of hat and say, oh, he touched me, he groped me, he raped me, he gang raped me, he got these people to jump me or whatever, touch me or run a sex train on me. When will it stop? But see, sometimes these things have to happen to put a person on blast because they were getting away with nefarious deeds and they bullied people, threatened people, and the people were afraid to tell it. I won't doubt that some of this is true, but the point of it is you have to have a receipt. That's the point. Brooke says, I say no because I believe he likes men. Okay, I've already voted. Okay, Nia, thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, Brooke. Thank you all so much. 9 votes. Says now you all switched it up. 67% of you believe he will pay. Well, Diddy says he's not paying anybody else. So I don't know. Because the thing about paying people is, as they said, and you heard here, you pay one, you might as well pay them all. Because people are going to talk regardless. Obviously, people have been talking about P. Diddy and his ways, his all-male parties, escapades during the parties. Don't know. Never really dug into it. You're entitled to do whatever you want when you're grown. Okay? The only thing I have a problem with, if anybody sexually harassed a person, sexually assaulted a person, demeaned a person, videotaped a person without his or her permission, that's where I have a problem. And I got a feeling he has done those things. I got a feeling he's videotaped people without their permission, in uncompromising positions, as you heard during this live stream, at parties, people visiting his house. He's just nasty. Him and R. Kelly should get along just fine. Because this is what all this sounds like. This sounds like a repeat of Robert Theodore Kelly. That's exactly what this sounds like. Brooke says he has plenty of money, laugh out loud. He better start paying up. Well, Brooke, how will it end though? You pay these other people, then somebody else is going to jump out of a bag. And they actually could be lying. But, you understand what I'm saying? How would he draw the line? Nia says, I could see him doing that. It's actually quiet, common, but it's very hush-hush. What's hush-hush? What's hush-hush? Mr. Yadig said Diddy is going down. Possibly. Maybe this is just a repeat of R. Kelly. You've done so much. You've gotten away with so much. You've threatened people, bullied people, and finally somebody's decided to put your ass on blast, even though they rode the donkey ride along with you for a while, but you still did some dirty shit to them. And I think we all can attest to that we've dealt with people who did some really grimy shit to us, but we still kept dealing with them. Men, women, same sex, whatever you had going on, friendships, family members, everybody's got a story to tell. And in the end, like they say, it's three sides to the story. Your side, my side, and the truth. But when you're talking about sexual assault, that's a whole different ballgame. You know, running trains on people, all that type of nonsense, menage a trois, time 12, still your choice to do what you want, but you don't have a choice if you've been drugged. Somebody hands you a drink and they've laced it with a Mickey. Now you don't have any options. You know, you're just a lamb slaughtered, thrown out there. And then you got somebody taping you. That's even worse. So what's even crazy about putting drugs in a person's drink? This shows you're really sick. I don't think a lot of people really think about what sexual assault is. It's one thing to just go up, slam a person down to the ground and take it from them, okay? Choke them, whatever. Beat them up, torture them. But to put a drug in the drink, I want you to think about this now. You are telling the world that you want a person to be emotionless while having sex with you. They can't talk back. They can't respond. They can't enjoy it. They can't reciprocate. This is what you are sending out to the universe. Okay? You're telling the world you want someone to really be dead while having sex with them. And there are men who are into that. Necrophilia. And that's usually where you would get into the serial killer game. But drugging a person, you're saying, I don't want a response. I don't want any feedback, clap back, nothing. So how are you getting enjoyment? Exactly, Dylan. That's why I said it. You're basically saying you want a corpse. That's why it never makes any, it's one thing to rape a person, okay? But to do it with a drug in a drink, you're telling the world, I want an empty shell. So you just want to hump them, and that's it. They ain't talking, they ain't touching you back. Like when you're engaging in sex, you know, you make your feelings, your size, your facial expressions. The person's just lying there. A lump of clay laying there, don't even know what's going on. And you're getting enjoyment out of that. Looking at somebody with their eyes closed with no emotion. Come on. Which is worse? I mean, they're both nasty. You take it and you throw a person down to the ground, to the bed, whatever, you know, strong arm them. And actually, they're not going to enjoy it because you're forcing them. But a drug, they're not even woke. It's ridiculous. They can't even enjoy it. So wouldn't that be the purpose, I would think? You want them to enjoy it, but you couldn't want them to enjoy it because they're out. So they're not going to enjoy it if you force them and they're woke. And then when you drug them, they're out. They don't even know what's going on. This is crazy to me. I believe they love the control, like full control. They don't care if you awake or not. They want to rule the body. Yes, okay, 100% right. Never thought about it like that. Yeah. So allegedly it's about control, but I still feel like it's still a sexual component, because let's be truthful, you can manipulate people into doing a lot of things if you want to control people without engaging in sex. I think we've learned this from cults, relationships where people are signing over their checks and giving all their money to people, spending their money on people, loaning out their car, getting loans for people. You can manipulate without ever putting your hands on a human being. Always remember that. The art of the con. So this is why I say it's not just about control. It's a sexual component, because you can manipulate a person to do lots of things and there's no sex involved. People are manipulated every day and there's no sex. You like sex, you want sex. So you controlling them, you won't control domination, but you want some sex too. As one rapist said many years ago, A&E program, I know they enjoyed it. So the host said, what do you mean? Well, what makes you think she enjoyed it? And he said, oh, because, she climaxed. So the host was like, well, he said, well, that's a normal reaction. It's not that she wanted you. It's not that she chose you. You broke in her house, lied in wait, and then pounced on her. So now you're trying to say, oh, because she climaxed, oh, well, she enjoyed it. This is how sick to say this is. What's the truth to the allegations by Mr. Rod Jones against Sean Combs? Because he's mentioned a lot. He's thrown out other people, famous people, different people. This lady, this white lady, he's mentioned her, procuring sex workers, drugs. Mr. Jones says he was given a drug bag to carry. You're telling on yourself. Because the one thing that's crazy is you're an adult. You're not a kid making these allegations against you. Allegedly is a heterosexual and a Christian. And you could have easily said, I'm not having sex with you. You're not going to be groping me. I'm not having sex with your friends. I'm not having sex with sex workers. I'm not getting high. I'm not getting ready to pass a drug. I'm not getting ready to store a drug. I'm not getting ready to carry any weapons. I'm not going to wear baseball caps in a strip club to allure sex workers. Your allegations go on and on. Watching the son go get underage girls for the father, allegedly. His associates touching and groping you, whatever. Cuba Gooding Jr., you've mentioned him. You've thrown out 2 rappers' names that allegedly Sean mentioned he's been with them. This shit goes on and on and on, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And you're not thinking, like I said, of these people coming back and suing your ass for throwing their names out publicly, even if there's truth to it, okay? Even if there's truth. Even if it's some truth. You're throwing out these people's names. And I don't think they're going to be happy with it. And I think you possibly have had sex with Sean. That's what I think. I think you've done something nefarious with him, sexual in nature. And I think some shit just jumped out between you and him, personal. And now you're mad at whatever you did not get, and this is your way of trying to get a payday and also air his business. And most of the stuff you've mentioned is jacked up and foul. I'm going to say that, if indeed true. So it needed to come out if the allegations are true. But you got to own your part because you were there. Well, D. Davis, he's saying that Sean told him in a roundabout way he slept with those 2 guys. And the lawyer for Mr. Combs, I believe, said the names need to be mentioned of who he was referring to. No, he's not innocent, honey. Thank you, Nia. Well, you go free the Pied Piper. Good luck with that. Matter of fact, after you free him, hey, we'd like to see how it turns out. Talking stupid talk. Matter of fact, this is a remix of the Pied Piper. A bunch of nonsense, a bunch of foolishness, a bunch of motherfuckers who don't got nothing better to do than go out here and say folks and rule over folks, but it's what you allow. Because like I said, you can be manipulated and no sex is involved. Bottom line. This just happened to have a sexual nature. But you can manipulate somebody into going into Walmart and buying you a damn 55-inch color TV. You bat your lashes and you put your beard in and get your roll out. It's done every day. People do things for people all the time, and sex don't have a damn thing to do with it. It's called connery, grift. It happens every day. Date sites, boss, employees, employee on employee, family members, husband, wife, spouse, lovers, exes, whatever. Anybody can be manipulated. You let a person sit in your ear long enough talking shit about what they need. I need a car, I need some money, I need a down payment on a house, I need this, I'll pay you, whatever you own. You said enough, boom, somebody, here's the money, here, get out my face, here's the money. Then 2 weeks later, a month later, they're back. They need something else. It's what you allow. That's why I said you have to own your part in the foolishness. That's it. Own your part. And this guy, Rod, needs to own his part because he was wrapped up with this nonsense. If true, these allegations, there should have been a point when you were tired of it. You were tired of being his bitch boy. Because basically that's what you're telling us. If you were carrying the drugs, all that, you weren't getting paid to carry the drugs. Oh, he would have paid me. I'm going to carry dope for you. I'm not going to carry your dope for free. I'm just keeping it real. You want me to carry your dope for you? Well, you need to give me a finder's fee. Hey, game recognized game. So I think you feel bad because you didn't put your bid in to be a part of this foolishness. Because if you had some sense about yourself, if your game and you was a grinder, you would have been getting some mad paper from P. Diddy. See, your mind wasn't on money. See, you should have recognized what the fuck was going on as soon as you met him. He put it out there, show you what he's about. Then you should have said, all right, okay, I see he that type. He want to play me. He like to play people. All right. As soon as he came with some more crazy nonsense, hey, I need you to do this. Hey, I need you to hold a pack. All right, I would have let him know. Or what's in it for me? See, he wouldn't be expecting that because he picks and chooses certain people to play these mind games with. Let me see how far I can go with Pookie, Ray Ray, Susie Mae, Cassie, whoever. You don't bow out, you don't buck up. He already know, okay, I got me a sucker. Okay? I got me a sucker. I got me somebody I can manipulate. Yes, it's very different. He's a sadist. He's just like R. Kelly. He's a sadist. He takes the sadism to a whole new level. You know, these are those type of people. It's not just sex and drugging people. It's all that shit you heard with R. Kelly, the urinating, defecating on the women and, the nastiness, bad hygiene, just functified trifling. Showing videos of men having sex and all that. Who does that? Who does that? If I was a woman with a man, and I'm thinking he's a heterosexualist, okay? And he pulls out a video of two men screwing, or he and a man are screwing. You think I'm going to sit here and tell him, oh, okay. That's nice. Why do you think he would show that to me? To see what I'm about. To see if I'm down. Okay? Well, your mama, she's probably invisible. How about that? It's a game. He's a groomer. If I'm to believe these allegations by these people, he's a groomer. 75 votes on the last poll. Will Diddy pay Lil Rod? Thank you for voting. 46% of you believe he will pay him. 54% said no. Thank you. That's the one poll that everybody took. Thank you so much. Yeah, you know, they come in here trolling because they don't have nothing better to do. They're just as crazy as him. All those people coming in the chat with all them nasty comments and crazy nonsense, they're no different than P. Diddy. They're on the same damn level. It's late night and you trolling the chat, you know, with nonsense. Nobody have time for all that nonsense. Yeah, Nia, finally. 47 watching and 70-some votes on one video. But seriously, he's just a sadist. What's up, Jesse? Your mama? That's what's up. Your mama and P. Diddy? That's what's up. You don't want to get the queen crunk, baby. You best find something to do. Find you something to do. Hola. He was born with money, never wanted for nothing, and that's why he wanted power over people he made believe they needed for money. Believe needed him for money. Well, you know, he's doing what a lot of people do when they get money. They get a little clout. They're known for something. Because you got to remember, there are people who navigate just like this, but they don't have P. Diddy's money. They didn't have R. Kelly's money. They just are manipulators. That's the bottom line. Yeah, find you something to do. That's old black folk talking there. That's what you got to remember about the grind, the hustle, the grift. It's all the same. You can manipulate without sex being involved. It depends on what you're seeking. He saw sex. So he used his clout, his name, his money to bait people, groom people. Same thing R. Kelly did. Other people do it, but they ain't trying to have sex with you, okay? That's the point. There are many people who navigate the same way. They know how to bat their lashes. They know how to be coy. They know how to say, well, you know, I ain't got a little money today, or I ain't got this, or I need a ride, I need this, you know, I need a new wardrobe. Whatever the hell it is they're trying to get. The grind is real. People out here hustling and double juggling people for the stupidest of stuff. If it's $5 to get a roll of toilet paper or a $5 bottle of whiskey, it's the hustle. That's what you have to understand about the grind. The grind is real. What this person will grind for, this person don't. Okay? People manipulate every day. Just like I had a young guy tell me many years ago. He said, Miss Angie, everybody is a manipulator. He said, there's not one person that can ever say they never manipulated a person to get something that they wanted, and he's damn right. We have all done it. You have lied about wanting something, needing something to get what you wanted. You've lied about saying you didn't have no money when you did and asked somebody for something, whatever it was. Whether it's your husband, your wife, or whoever, everybody's done it. But this is a whole new level. When you're talking about sex trafficking, underage children, videotaping people, filming people, bringing in other people, sex workers, same sex, opposite sex, that's a whole different ballgame. Because now you're on some other shit that, hey, some people ain't on board. And you're trying to basically force them to like what you're into. And it's disrespectful. Now, if you down with menage a trois, having, you know, extra sex with different partners, that's your business, your choice, but you should know there's a price to pay for doing that. You think that ain't going to get back to somebody? You think people in the street ain't going to have your name ringing? That's why that Cassie girl was stupid, because guess what? He's bringing in all these strange people to have sex with you. You think they weren't going back telling people in the street they just had sex with your dumb ass and P. Diddy, or he stood there and watched, or he participated, he pulled out a camera and filmed? You got to be crazy as hell. Why in the hell would you want people to know you were letting these strange people have sex with you? It's crazy. And P. Diddy had to have known these people would talk. You're high with them, and you think they ain't went out and told somebody, girl, you won't believe where I was last night, honey. I was with P. Diddy and that girl, honey. She a pretty girl, but she's stupid. She just let us come in there, and we was doing this and putting stuff in her and all that. You want the people in the street to be talking about you like that? You got men who will do it. Yep. I'm describing your mama, honey. That's who I'm talking about. You got to know what you won't fall down for. Like I said, we've all made mistakes in dealing with people, being mistreated, talked about, physical abuse. But this, like I said, when you start talking all this other crazy stuff, video filming and bringing in other people, sex work, that's a whole different fucking ball game and abuse. Have sex with who you want, that's your business. But like I said, you should know it's going to get out to the street. And that's what I don't understand, is why she didn't think, oh, these people know my business. These people that had sex with me, they know what I look like naked. They know what I did to them. That's where I have the problem. And then you're talking about 13 years. So then you got to ask, how long was she allowing the sex workers and extra partners to be in the bed with her in the 13 years? It's too much. Exactly. Make better choices. Exactly. I want to check out of here. This is my second live stream for today. Please check out the earlier live stream. There's a 2-part live pertaining to the body parts found in New York. More body parts have been found in Long Island. 4 people have been arrested. They're now out on release, supervised release with ankle monitors. I will bring you an update. Their names have been released and their ages. Please check out that live stream from earlier. And also in that live stream, a woman here in Knoxville, Tennessee, has been accused of murdering her 5-year-old child back in September of 2019. She blamed everybody under the sun, but the state says she killed her 5-year-old daughter. Please check out that live stream from earlier, 2-part live. I will be bringing you an update. She will be in court tomorrow here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Check it out if you have time. And I also will bring you an update to the body parts found in New York. 4 people free as I speak because of the new bail bond law in New York, which is hideous because these people are part of chopping up these 2 people, a 53-year-old man and a 59-year-old woman. What happened? Where were they murdered? Why were they murdered? It is suspected that this was a love triangle. So you may have heard rumors about that MS-13 gang, blah, blah, blah. I don't think so. This is some other bullshit going on with these people. I don't know how these people know each other tangled up, but it's a web. It's a web. It's a web. Oh, Nia, be nice, be nice, be nice. Street. Well, I've been on an hour and 44 minutes. I wasn't planning on staying this long. But my message to people is just the obvious. You know, like I said, we all make mistakes. We've all been with people who probably just did not serve us well. We probably didn't serve them well. And you have to own the role you play, because we can play victim sometimes and say, well, I keep attracting the wrong people. They keep mistreating me, talking down to me, abusing me. But you have to tell yourself, I'm better than this. I deserve better. I have no business talking to anybody that does not have any respect for me, don't know how to talk to me. They're putting their hands on me. They're calling me nasty names. You deserve better than that. Nobody should be calling you out the name your mother gave to you. Bottom line. Nobody should be putting their hands on you. Nobody should be abusing you. Nobody should be bringing in sex workers, extra parties for sex, and extra people for sex. You're not into that? Say I ain't into it. They're trying to get you to get on drugs? I ain't into it. You don't have to do it. Why do it? You're not with it. You ain't down with it. You don't like it. Let's say you tried it. You tried being with a woman, you ain't like it. Okay, you tried doing it with 4 or 5 people, you didn't like it. You tried some heroin, fentanyl, you don't like it. Okay, keep it moving. Don't sell your soul to the devil. The devil don't pay you nothing. That's what people need to understand about Satan. You understand? Yeah, I go to bed when I'm ready. How about that? Exactly, know your worth. Because that's what Satan is looking for. He's looking for foot soldiers. And that's what you have here with this nonsense with P. Diddy. A bunch of foot soldiers selling the soul to the devil and coming up short. Because what you have to think, what did all these people get in the end that participated in any of this BS that you heard from Lil Rod, Cassie, and these other women? Oh, well, okay. What did they gain? Cassie probably gained more than anybody because she just settled a lawsuit. But he is not getting ready to pay probably nobody else what he paid Cassie. And he paid her because he knew what he had done to her, and she probably got the receipts to show what he's done. She's probably got emails, text messages of her bitching, crying, moaning, why you do this to me, why you do this? And he probably spoke back. It's him talking back to her. He knows that. She might have some video footage of them having sex. He may have sent her videos of them having sex. So you don't really know what the hell he's been doing. The problem I have with all this information is the obvious sadism. And the fact that if we have already went down this rabbit's hole with R. Kelly, now P. Diddy, who else out there in the entertainment business, sports arena, is doing the same damn thing? This ain't good. Of course. Black Ronas, stop it now. There's probably more entertainers who are doing the same thing. Touching, groping, throwing themselves on women, raping, assaulting. It's just a matter if they're going to tell it. And many people aren't going to tell for the very reason they're ostracized. Why would somebody believe me? He's handsome. He's wealthy. He can get any woman he wants. Because, you know, you hear that's how men think. That's how they talk. Oh, he didn't touch you. He don't need you. What would he want with you? He can go get this girl. He can get that girl. But if he's a sadist, it doesn't work like that. Just like with Bill Cosby. He admitted in a deposition in Florida many moons ago. Oh, yeah, I used to give him Quaaludes back in the day. That's what we used to do. So that's why people knew he was that guy. Because you just admitted that you did it in the 70s. So what's the difference between the 70s and the 90s and the 2000s? Nothing. You're still that guy. And I don't want her telling me no, that pretty thing walking by. I'll put a Mickey in her drink. She can't tell me no now. See what I'm saying? So you need to be careful going alone with a man. Because the point is, once the door is closed, all bets are off. He does not have to play fair. You see how sick these people are? Just like who we're talking about. Sick. If you'd like to donate to this great network, $ Big Angie. 129 Cash App. Stickers and chats always welcome during the live stream. Thank you all so much for joining me. Please check out my other live from yesterday. I'll be back tomorrow to discuss the case here in Knoxville, Tennessee of the mother accused of killing her 5-year-old daughter. Did she kill her daughter? What was the motive? Take the poll on my community page. I've got maybe 2 questions or so pertaining to the motive of why she would kill her child. I'm going to tell you why I think she murdered her child. She got tired of the baby daddy. She got tired of the baby daddy coming around. So if she got rid of the child who was collateral damage, I don't got to deal with the baby daddy no more. I'm moving on. I got a new man. I'm done. But somebody in the chat said maybe she killed the daughter to get revenge against the baby daddy. That kind of correlated. Maybe so. Why did Robin Harrington kill her 5-year-old daughter? Revenge? Tired of dealing with the child? Or to be rid of the father? Kill the kid, you kill the daddy. No more abuse, no more knocking on my door, no more calling me nasty names. I can move on scot-free and clear. Let me know what you think. Say what, David? Maybe to her, the children's father. I don't understand what you're saying, David. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, baby. Thank you, Paranormal. Please check out my content. If you get some free time, please check out the court hearings pertaining to Ms. Harrington, and you decide if she killed her kid or not, because she has 3 versions. First, it's an unidentified black man. Then it's the baby daddy. Then she puts it on the 2-year-old boy child, said he climbed up in her closet on a bar stool, took the gun out of the closet, came back in, tried to protect her, and shot his sister by mistake. Sounds like bullshit. Because your fingerprints were on the gun, Miss Robin. You took the gun outside and hid it in a bush. Why? Why did you lie? Video surveillance shows nobody coming and going after one visitor. Went in your house, unidentified, possibly somebody buying dope from you. You're the only one coming out, hiding the gun. Oh, you also implicated your boyfriend, put the gun out there. 4 lies. You went to the hospital and tried to get a woman to take your phone in the bathroom. You put water on it to try to ruin it because you didn't want nobody to see the drug sales on your phone. And during interrogation, all you talked about was going to jail for the dope and the gun. No remorse for the daughter being dead. No tears until this week in court. The only time you've cried is now, 4.5 years later. But your only concern was yourself, as the detective told you, self-preservation. You only worried about a dope charge and a gun charge, but not telling the truth to who murdered your daughter. So that makes me believe you are the killer. Because that was your only conversation during interrogation. Will I get a dope charge? Will I get a dope charge? Will I get a gun charge? Will I get a gun charge? I'm scared to talk. I'm scared to talk. I don't want to go to jail for the dope. I don't want to go to jail for the gun. I think it's illegal. Hell yeah, it's illegal because it ain't your fucking gun. You never cared for your kid. You had a whole nother kid that nobody knew about, never talked about. Why you don't have that kid? You don't even have that baby, do you? I believe that baby's in the state's care. So you don't have 3 children. And you've been afforded the luxury to be out on bond. Because your first charge was tampering with evidence. And then they upped the charge to murder. You're a lucky girl. But will 12 members of the jury favor your ass? Because you've lied too many times in interrogation. And the only time people lie is when they have something to hide. And you implicated 3 other people, even your own damn baby, your 2-year-old, as the killer, when you could have used your child as a scapegoat off the grid. Because a 2-year-old won't go to jail, a 2-year-old can't get arrested, and a 2-year-old can't go to juvenile. You're not smart. I think you planned it. I think you planned that whole evening out. You said, I'm gonna get rid of this kid because I'm sick of the fucking baby daddy. I'm tired of him coming around bothering me. I got a way to get rid of him. I'll get rid of the kid. No kid, no baby daddy. Thank you for joining me. You've been listening to the Vault XL. Talk to you later. Bye.